If you are hearing this after midnight, remember that you chose to press play. These were the stories the mods yanked within an hour, not for being fake, but for being too close to real. Names are changed, edges sanded, timestamps intact. If this upload disappears, you will understand why. First, a voicemail I pulled before the account went dark. The caller is Jenna, 23, night custodian at a medical office in Monterey, 1996. She starts calm, like she has rehearsed it. You can hear the floor buffer in the background, a steady hum that makes every pause feel heavier. At 1:17, the elevator opens to a floor that does not exist on the building map. No lights, just the exit sign and a row of framed photographs turned to face the wall. She props the door, calls her supervisor, gets voicemail. She says she kept the buffer running so she would not hear her own breathing. Then the framed photos fall one by one, like someone is walking past them with a shoulder out. She rolls the buffer forward and the cord pulls tight against something in the dark. On the tape I can hear the click of a metronome, or maybe it is a filing cabinet settling, regular, patient, counting her steps. The buffer stops, and she whispers that there is a man at the end of the hall, except he is facing the wrong way, chin tipped to the ceiling, like he is smelling the air. She says hello, because that is what polite people do when fear has not yet picked a side. He does not turn, but his hands rise, palms up, like he is asking to be lifted. Then every exit sign on the floor clicks off and back on in a ripple that reaches her shoes. She kicks the buffer loose, backs into the elevator, hits the lobby button, and hears the man finally breathe out. A long note, relief or grief, she cannot tell. The recording ends with her saying she quit, then asking me, very small, if the photographs were supposed to be turned around before she got there. Moderation note said it violated privacy and contained unverified threats. Fine. On to the notebook pages scanned by a trail worker outside Crescent City, found after a storm took out a footbridge. He wrote at lunch, pencil smudging into the grain of the paper bag he used as a cover. He jokes once about the tourists, then the humor leaks out when he starts hearing a whistle at exactly 2:17 each afternoon, no matter where he is on the switchbacks. 2 short notes like a coach calling time. By day 5 he times it, holds his breath, steps just before the hour, and hears the whistle come from behind him where there is no trail at all, only salal and damp earth that keeps the prints of whatever is pacing him just out of sight. He stops writing there. Next came a set of stills from a storage facility in Tucson, 2011. The night manager sent them with a subject line that only said, "Do not call this number." He had closed at 10, did rounds, and heard a baby crying from Unit D17, which is impossible because no one is allowed to live on site. He unlocked the row lights and followed the sound until it clipped into silence right as he stood at the door. Inside was nothing but a lawn chair and a battery-powered speaker zip-tied to it. The card reader log showed the tenant had never entered. When he reviewed the cameras, he watched himself walking the corridor while a second shadow tracked a pace behind, head down, always blocked by the pillar between units. He turned the monitor brightness up and saw the eyes first, 2 points reflecting infrared like an animal. The police took the footage. The listing disappeared the next day. Then a CB recording from a toll road booth in Ohio, 2004. The attendant worked mids, kept a paperback under the counter and a thermos on the sill. At 2:43 a.m., every car in both lanes braked at once like they had hit a wall made of hush. The booth radio crackled with a voice reading names, 10 of them, all tagged with plates he had just seen in the last hour. He can be heard repeating them under his breath, tracing the list with a pen, stopping only when it says his own. Outside, brake lights dusted the fog red. A woman got out and leaned on her hood, crying without sound. The attendant opened the drawer where they keep flares and found a Polaroid that was not there earlier. A shot of his booth from the middle of the road, timestamp smeared, focus too clean. He resigned 2 days later, then mailed me the cassette. Not all of them felt supernatural. One factory supervisor in Elkhart sent a letter with oil smudges along the fold. He wrote that the third shift had started losing time, 5, 6, 9 minutes gone, as if they had walked into a room without a clock and refused to admit it. The cameras showed nothing, but the machine's finished runs no one remembered starting. He left a tape from the break room TV VCR clock blinking 12, where you can see the door hinge flex on its own, metal remembering weight. After the fourth lost segment, security found a nest in the rafters over Line C, a plywood platform with water, jerky, aspirin, and a crate of earplugs. Someone had been living above them for months, coming down only when the lines screamed loud enough to drown a ladder. They never caught the man. The letter ends with a stain where the pen dug through. The last file is a voicemail from me to myself, reminding you that pressing play is consent to remember with me when nobody else will.